here's a conversation I really want to get into. The Cowboys are back in talks with Ezekiel Elliott. And that is why I want to tell you why the Chiefs went out and they picked up a rugby player. Just goes to show you, like, they want to find the best talent. Yeah, that's true. But is it that hard to find players that you think are that talented for the National Football League? Quarterback position, we know. It is extremely hard. That's why you have a lot of teams last season, and even before that, who were struggling. People like the Patriots, people like the Jets. Aaron Rodgers went down and it was a free for all. Then you look at a lot of other places, it's like, hey, we need a quarterback in here. Then you went out to, Chicago Bears, and they said, we need a quarterback. Well, you had Justin Fields. So it's like, well, now Justin Fields with the Steelers, why is that so much better? I think people just have to find the right mesh, the right location, the right program for them. And that's really the really interesting fact. But Ezekiel Elliott coming back, will he play for the Cowboys? Will this be better for the Cowboys? Right? Like, literally, I'm watching this right now. And obviously, good morning to everybody in here. I'm putting in here, will the Steelers make the playoffs? Right? I'm putting that in the chat right now just for people to just respond to. Little communication. Will the Steelers make the playoffs? Yes or no? And then also, heading into right now conversation with Ezekiel Elliott, it's just like, I don't understand for the life of me why you let a guy go, right? And you're like, hey, we're interested in bringing him back in. Well, Tony Pollard stepped up, had a great season, and they started saying, hey, Tony Pollard's carrying the load. And I get that. Like, I really get why they did that, because the speed, the ability, but they got rid of Ezekiel Elliott. And now they're like, hey, let's take a look at him again. And I understand, listen, I understand the situation. And Howard, can you pull it up for us real quick with Dak Prescott real quick and understand behind it? Look, Ezekiel Elliott had tons and tons of yards, 8,900 yards in his history playing the NFL. Howard, we have the picture, Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott. Look, here's the thing, right? Like, these players are used to playing together. And I know the Cowboys right now are looking at Ezekiel Elliott, looking at Dalvin Cook. But if you're going to bring the last hurrah, like, I'm starting to understand why they actually want to bring in Ezekiel Elliott again. Because the guy was a bull, right? I got video of this right now to show you. Like, the guy was that good, like breaking tackles, running through people. He had a little slump that happens in National Football League. You can't be great every single year, nonstop, and not have a little bit of slump. You see with Saquon Barkley now too, but look at this. The guy's got, he's got speed, he's got talent, he runs people over, he's entertaining, right? Him and Tony Pollard on the same team was great. And I love going to the two running back situation where now you have two players in the National Football League that are sharing time. That makes it easier. Get a breath of fresh air. But watch this guy. Talented, making people miss, breaking tackles, stiff arming people. Like, Dak Prescott would hand the ball off and then trot down the field and go, oh, I kind of like what I got in the backfield, right? Like, this guy's making moves, sets him up for play action passes. I mean, all these things. All I'm saying is, if the Cowboys want to be successful, right, with Dak Prescott, $60 million, whatever it is, on his last year, and they're talking about, will he stay there? All I'm saying is, Ezekiel Elliott is not a bad option. And he's been there. He's comfortable. He's played in Dallas. He's comfortable in Texas, right? Knows the playbook. Really, really good out there. Someone you can bring back and get started right away. Won't miss a beat. But again, it just goes to show you, it is so hard to find talent in the National Football League, because you're like, hey, let's go back to Ezekiel Elliott. Just like people are like, hey, I'm going to bring in Joe Flacco. He's turned 40 years old, right? And a bunch of other players that are out there doing the same thing. And other teams are bringing in older guys because it's so hard to find. Like I just said, the Chiefs are looking for rugby players now. It's like, that's the case. But this guy is a talent. I love watching him play. He looked the best I've seen him play in the Dallas Cowboy uniform. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I'd love to see him end up, back there. I think that Dak Prescott will be happy to have him back there. And I think together, this dynamic duo plays the best they can play in the National Football League together. They ride the wave together. Probably will kind of go out together, right? Like in similar years, but Dak Prescott looking for an extension with the Cowboys. They got to win this season, right? If Dak Prescott wants to get that long-term extension again, and I'm not going to say a 5-year deal, but a 3-year deal, maybe 3 years, 70 million, 60 million, something like that. This is the season that he has to prove himself. He has to get out there and he's got to win football games, not just regular season games, playoff games. Even if you don't win a Super Bowl, you better get out there and win a couple playoff games, because if not, again, the fan base, people are getting upset. They're not even making a lot of moves in free agency right now. And people are like, look, we got to do something. What are we missing? Maybe they want to bring Ezekiel Elliott back. Maybe that's a big part of the running game that they've been missing. Hey guys, thanks for watching and tuning into the Brandon Mason Show. Please remember to like and subscribe. Until next time.